live from the 607. It is the one and only Ocho Duro Parlay Hour with your host Ken M, Soundman Galore, JR, and the Padawan J, bringing you all the sports information you need to know.
Fingers slipping down your sides, need you close just to feel alive, and that ain't no urge, no man could wanna fight. I'm only fighting to get it right, get it right.
And folks, it's been too long. We're glad to be back. Yes, it is another edition of the ODPH. Follow us on social media. Hit us up because all day this episode, we're talking NFL. All day we've been talking NFL. All week we've been talking NFL. We've been doing it since the last episode. We're doing it tonight. To my left, as always, JR, Sound Guy Galore.
Oh, you know I'm right here, baby.
Now, you know me, Ken, I'm the host. But Padawan J is not here tonight because he heard about Julian Edelman's injury. He actually went to Patriots training camp and tried auditioning for a role on the team.
We actually have money on how many yards he'll get this year because there's a good chance he may have over 500.
Yes, because Padawan, he walks 500 miles, and he'll walk 500 more for Tom Brady. So we don't know exactly how he did. I don't see his name on the roster sheets, so he's probably walking back. But we here at the ODPH, we like to make sure that if somebody's not here, we have somebody to fill the void, if you will, if it's possible. And folks, we have the one and only Nostradogmus Edwin Fortunato live in studio. Eddie, talk to the people.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, who else would we have for our football special than the dog?
I'm telling you, the dog is a wealth of football knowledge so much that he's going to make your head spin. Make sure to let us know what you're thinking on social media. Hit us up on the Twitter, hit us up on the Facebook, hit us up on the website, hit us up on Instagram. I think I've covered everything. We're not talking any other sports today. We have blogs up about that if you're looking for something. But it's that time. I'm sorry. See, I'm getting a little amped up because I like talking football.
Yes.
And we're talking the National Football League. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking down division, AFC, NFC, breaking down each bracket, each team, letting you know what we think we're going to do.
Division winners,
losers, the whole nine. We're going to be covering
Super
Rookie of the
Bowl
Year,
picks.
Super Bowl picks. We're going to get really into it. I know I'm speaking a lot. I'm speaking fast because I'm that amped up. I haven't been this amped up since one person left the New York Knicks organization. But we don't need to go there right now. Because,
that was a good show.
Yeah, it was a great show. That was a great week.
There's a little bit of energy in the building there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of heat on that. So, but we're gonna be bringing it to you live and direct here on the ODPH NFL preview. So, folks, enough of me yapping away. Let's get started. We're going to the AFC, the East Division. We got the Patriots. We have the one and only Buffalo Bills. We have the Miami Dolphins, and we have the New York Jets. JR, start us off. How do you think this is going down?
Well, you know what? Honestly, being an NFC guy, obviously everybody knows my Vikings. That's what I pull for. You know what? My losers, pretty much the entire division. Sorry, buddy. I think if it wasn't for the Jets going 0-16 this year, Bills are right at the bottom cellar. But you know what? I think Miami's going to really surprise people because annoyingly, I think Jay Cutler actually cares. I don't know why. I don't have a preference. I don't like him. I don't think he's that great. But for some reason, he's really trying in Miami. So, you know what? I think Miami's going to get 10 wins out of there.
That is a bold statement.
I really do. It stinks because their schedule's so easy. They get wins easily by the Bills and Jets. It's not going to be that hard. They're not even going to try. They're not even going to be competitive. Sorry, buddy. I mean, the only stumble they're going to have is New England. So, I mean, New England by default in the division, but I think Miami gives them a good run with 10 wins.
Dog, I know that your heart lies in the NFC West, but do you have any thoughts on the AFC East?
I think it's basically New England by default too. And I mean they are the defending Super Bowl champions. I just think there's not enough talent on the other teams. I know it's hard to say that, but I think it's just the Patriots and everybody else, and pretty much in that division.
This is my home division because if anybody knows me very well, I am a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. It is the Patriots division as long as Brady and Belichick are still running things in Foxborough. I honestly think, as much as this pains me to say it, there is a distinct possibility of the Patriots running the table in the regular season. I think, though, honestly, they're going to go 14-2 in the regular season. That is my honest-to-God gut feeling. Because this offseason, the Patriots have loaded up on both sides of the ball with a lot of free agent moves that they typically don't do. Most notably, getting Brandon Cooks out of New Orleans, giving Tom Brady a very deep threat that he hasn't had, not saying on the same level, but kind of the same playmaking ability since Randy Moss was there.
Yeah, I would agree.
And on the other side of the ball, they've made moves. I know they, in my opinion, they overpaid for Stephen Gilmore. You can have him for that contract. That's my opinion.
You know what, though? He's going to be an all-pro
He
for
might
the money,
be.
and that's the part that's just going to really irk you bad.
It's gonna fire me up. But I saw how much he's getting paid, and I'm just going, you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with this. So, but as you both have said, and I have to agree, it's the Patriots division. We're all just kind of living in it right now.
Be real, because we're going to hit each person's team. Obviously, the three of us here are a little different. Pad's loving this talk, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is. Yeah, whatever. Enjoy your trip to Boston, Pad. But in all real, we'll hit our teams. How many wins do the Bills have? Because that's your team.
In all honesty, because
real.
I did break this down. No,
Don't even front right now.
No, I'm dead serious about this. I think they're gonna go 7-9.
7.
Yep.
How are they going to get 7 wins
I honestly think that they still have LaShawn McCoy.
in 2 seasons?
No. I think
Season.
I think this season they're going to do it. I think Tyrod is going to play very good early, and I think they're going to squeak out a couple that they probably shouldn't win. But because I'm looking at the rest of the division, and as I'm going to break this down, I think Miami is going to go 6-10.
What?
Yeah, I am not sold on Jay Cutler. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying you should be,
No.
but I mean they're better than 6-10.
In my opinion, I think that he's going to cost him a couple games. This, like I said, this is just opinion. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, let me know on the social media. #ODPH. I think that Jay Cutler wasn't the best fit there. I understand why they got him because Adam Gase is very familiar with him. But when you get talked into coming back to play, when you've already settled for working on your commentary, as I believe he did, there's a difference if you're trying to get on a team and you can't then if you're completely doing something else and you get talked into it for whatever reason. If your heart's not fully into something, you're going to see it in the play.
I don't know though, man. 10 million can talk almost anybody into doing anything.
Right, but
I'm just saying.
No.
I think Doug can agree there. I think somebody waves 10 million in your face, like, you know
Yeah,
what?
well-
I think you know what? Sunny South Beach. It's not Denver. It's not cold.
It was mainly his wife though that talked him into coming back though.
Yeah. That's,
And $10 million.
That's what the reports. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he's getting talked into it and it's not in his heart to come back, I mean, granted, yeah, you throw me $10 million, I'll go play in Miami.
Let's see. The warmest area outside of maybe Houston, Dallas to play.
Yeah.
At least it's outdoors.
I mean, yeah, I can understand why. I'm not hating on him for coming back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying I'd rather have a guy that wants to, lay it all on the field and play for, like he's not getting paid.
Sure.
That I would rally my team around that guy if that's the person that you feel that is. I'm sorry, I'm just not sold on Cutler there. Now, do I think that he's an adequate replacement for Ryan Tannehill this season? Absolutely.
That's a good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It beats the alternative
Oh, it does.
more.
Yeah.
Oof.
Which I mean, for what they decided to go with, it makes sense for Adam Gase. If you're going to replace him, have somebody familiar with the system. I just think that as we've seen with Jay, very inconsistent with the ball, and I think he's going to cost them a couple games that they should win. So that being said, that's why I call him 6-10, and that's because I think that Jay's going to cost them a couple games, and I think that they're going to get into a couple of dogfights with the Bills and the Jets, because all right, as bad as the Jets are looking, and trust me, they're looking atrocious, I still think the Jets are going to pull 2 wins out of somewhere. Not saying it's going to be easy, not saying it's going to be pretty, but they will find a way to win a couple games that they shouldn't.
The Jets will win Week 1.
You know, you're making the bold prediction that they're going to beat the Bills.
No, I'm just
No.
I said that just because you're there.
Yeah, no.
I don't. Trust me, I don't.
But
I don't agree.
but in all honesty, though, interdivision games, it doesn't matter what your record are, because my dad, God rest his soul, was a diehard Cleveland Browns fan, and every time that they had to play Baltimore, trust me, that team got up no matter how bad. And trust me, if you go through the lineage of the Browns since they've came back, they've been awful. They have always shown up for the most part against Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the pride factor in the Jets is those guys are not going to want to go winless, and they'll sneak out a couple.
Sure.
One might be against Miami, one might be against Buffalo. Mm-hmm. I honestly can't see them beating the Patriots, so I'm going to be very honest. Those games might be like a college football score. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yep. But fear not. You're not going to be the only team that gets pummeled by the Patriots. So
No,
we're good.
No, because as we go on through the show, I'm going to break down what I'm thinking the Patriots are going to do. So that is my pick for that. So we're going to go to the AFC North.
Yes.
All right. So in there, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens. JR, you lead us off. Dog, you hit him after that.
Well, again, not particularly. I am going to go see, as I've mentioned in other shows, I do get to see the awesome Sunday night game in December, Steelers-Ravens in Pittsburgh. That game is going to be awesome. I'm stoked for it. I don't have any preference either way in the game, but I think it's fantastic that, I get to see an awesome rivalry game. I mean, those are the games you want to go to. So, the Ravens, Mr. Flacco Wolves, he's never been my favorite. I thought he was a Super Bowl bust. I really didn't think he was even that great. He was good for 1 year, and he outdueled Colin Kaepernick. Enough said. Andy Dalton, the ginger, he doesn't do it for me. Last year he didn't play in the postseason because of what, of a finger?
I believe so.
Yeah, he hurt his finger, and he couldn't man up for the postseason. So you know what? And unfortunately, Cleveland, hey, you know what? I like what they're doing. They're not going to go 0-16. Again, I'm Pittsburgh. I mean, you've got Big Ben, Brown, Bell. Drop mic. Enough said.
Dog?
I would say I would have Pittsburgh winning the division too. They're just so the three B's or not three B's, but the killer B's, as they call them. I think they're just loaded on. They're loaded on offense. They're always good. They're always consistent. So, and I think they can challenge the Patriots this year, actually, for
Wow, that's a bold statement.
the AFC.
Not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a bold statement.
Ravens have lost so many guys already. They have like 10 or 15 guys already on IR, which might cost them their season. And then the other ones, Browns, I don't think the Browns will be bad. I think they just need some consistency at quarterback. And the Bengals, well, what's the Bengals? They're always known for having a good regular season, but Marvin Lewis hasn't won a playoff game in like ever, I don't think, as a head coach. So
It's a notable point that you bring up, because how I have the division broken down is I think the Steelers are going to go somewhere around 10-6. I think they're going to win the division. I think that Le'Veon Bell is going to play out of his mind, barring any injury, because he wants to become the highest paid player in the NFL next season, wherever he winds up, whether he stays with Pittsburgh, which I think he should, but if he decides to try his luck elsewhere, he's going to make it worth some team's while. Ben Roethlisberger, we're not sure how much has got left in the tank. If he's talking about retirement past couple seasons, and even more so this past offseason, I believe, than in previous years, he might want to go out with it, guns blazing. Him and Antonio Brown are a heck of a 1-2 punch. And like you said, the 3 killer bees, they still are going to do a lot of damage in the AFC North. The Ravens, I have in second, and I'm thinking they're going to go somewhere around 9-7, 8-8, because I think that they're a team that they do have a lot of injuries right now, but their wide receiver core is not the worst. I believe when Kenneth Dixon gets back from injury too, he's going to be a surprise running back. So for your fantasy football midseason waiver wire, you might want to take a flyer on him. I think he's going to do some notable work. And they still have Justin Tucker, the best kicker in the league. So they're definitely able to put up points at any given notion they need to. And the defense always plays solid, bend but don't break. I think they'll hang in there, and I could see them squeaking out 9 wins. I actually like the Browns to go 6-10 around there. I like the moves they've done in this draft this offseason with Myles Garrett and Deshaun Kaiser, who I think is going to surprise a lot of people with how he's playing. Now, am I saying he's the next coming of Bernie Kosar? No. Do I think he's a lot better than the previous people that have come through Cleveland's doors? Yes. And I love their tight end, David Njoku. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He is going to be a sleeper for your fantasy teams. He's flown under many a radar, but I think he's going to make some noise, and I don't think they've had a tight end this good since Kellen Winslow. So that being said, I think that they're going to show a lot of improvement from last year. I think this is Hugh Jackman's second year as head coach, I believe. And I think you're going to kind of see that his system is going to either they're going to go in the right direction or they're just going to have to just start over from scratch one. I honestly think, though, this draft showed that they're stepping into the right direction. I don't think they're going to be playoff bound just yet, but I think they're going to make enough for their fan base that it'll catch wild. That being said, I think Cincinnati is going to come in last in the division. I think, as Dog just said, Marvin Lewis is great in the regular season, but if memory serves me right, they ride in waves. One year they're nearly unstoppable in the regular season, they fall apart. The next year they don't even make the playoffs. And I think that this year, if Marvin can motivate his team to really step up, yeah, they might be able to make some noise. I just don't think that they're going to be able to pull it off this year. I think that last year they got lucky with a few wins. I just don't see it happening this year, and I already know that I think other teams are going to gear up for him. I do think, though, they have the pieces in place for the future run with Joe Mixon as a running back. So that being said, I think the Browns are somehow going to get like a game up on them and finish in third instead of fourth, but I still think it's the Steelers.
Here's my thing. I like the fact that he put Cincinnati last. I don't agree with it, but ever since last year in a league that we had, I had him in a pick'em league. Actually, it was a Survivor league that cost me. How do you tie in London with the Redskins?
Yeah,
it was a tie. Are you kidding me? How?
Cincinnati.
That is. You know what? It irked me so freaking much when I pick them, and then you go to London and you tie, and it wasn't even a good game.
Cincinnati is the biggest heartbreaker team ever for fantasy because the games that they should just completely put up 45, they don't.
You have AJ Green.
Yeah,
that guy should have 2,000 yards.
Yeah, no, they have all the talent in place. It's just the effort is just inconsistent.
It gets me so fired up. It's like you should dominate.
You should.
AJ Green is just as good as Antonio Brown, and you waste him.
Yeah,
that guy should be having number 1 yardage every year.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, talk AFC South, AFC West. Hit us up on the social media, #ODPH. We're back here on the ODPH, the NFL preview. Hit us up on the social media, #ODPH. Going and taking a look now at the AFC South. Now, a lot of stuff has happened in there. Kind of the forgotten division, I guess I would say, of the AFC. Fair point, or no?
Yeah.
I would say so, since division winner was only one over 500, and it was just or over 500, and after that, it was kind of like the AFC or NFC West a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
7-9-1 took the division.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah,
Anytime you have something like that happen, it's kind of a little crazy.
or 7 and 9. Yeah,
But this one, Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans, and Jacksonville Jaguars. JR, thoughts on the division?
Simple. I'm all on the Houston train. I love their defense. Clowney's really coming into his own. You have the one, the only, the JJ Swat machine anchoring that defense. I mean, hello. With DeAndre Hopkins as your number one guy, and finally now that Osweiler's out, somebody can actually find him, give him some fantasy football worth back. I'm just saying, because that guy had less than 1,000 yards last year.
Very good. Very true point.
He should have had a heck of a lot more than that. I don't know how you miss him. He's a freak. I absolutely love him. Houston in a landslide. Jacksonville, Bortles is their starter, but they benched him in preseason, so what does that tell you for his confidence? They warned him that he probably wouldn't even get the job. He won it by default over yet another terrible preseason. He's going to be out of a job next year. That whole thing's a train wreck. I like Marcus Mariota. Good kid. I think they're really coming around. Eric Decker, I think he's a really nice sleeper in fantasy. I actually took him. I think he's a really good pickup because the Jets couldn't figure out how to use him. So I think Mariota likes that big, beefy size. I don't see why he can't. So I think I got Houston at 1, and I'm going to say probably Titans at 2. Colts, Andrew Luck, they just say he's coming back. Christmas is coming too, so I'll wish in one hand and think in the other and see which one comes first. So no luck, no chance. I like Mariota second. Houston, division winner.
Dog?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say
Uh-oh.
the Tennessee Titans win the division.
Okay.
They're a really up and coming team. They got the quarterback. They got a really good DeMarco Murray, really good running back, and I think their defense has also come along pretty well. I would put Houston at 2 probably. Just they have a good team. They have, as long as they get their quarterback situation figured out. But you can also say the same thing about Jacksonville. Jacksonville's loaded both on offense and defense, and they just need somebody that could right that ship and as a quarterback and take the team to another level if it's possible. Colts are, I think, just going to be as good as if Andrew Luck's there. If not, I probably have them 4th.
The Colts thing just irks me because Irsay's so wishy-washy with Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
He's hurt. Is he going to play? Oh, yeah. When? Well, he's out week 1. He's going to miss the first 6. Just say it. He's not coming back.
Indefinite timetable.
Yeah, it's not like he's, oh yeah, you know what? We're going to let him sit week 1, he's coming week 2. Well, is he or isn't he? No, yes, no, like make up your mind. Let us know like what's going on with him.
It's kind of a weird thing with that because I know they tried doing the old school, guessing game as many teams do.
Because you're not teasing anybody because no one cares.
Well,
your team is trash without him. You still have the veteran with, I don't know how he has strength in his legs still, Frank Gore.
Frank Gore is the Curtis Martin of this current day and age of running back. But as my predictions go, I am with Nostradogmus on this one. I think the Tennessee Titans are going to win that decisively. I'm talking like an 11-5 record, possibly a 12-4. Marcus Mariota is an MVP candidate. So I'm not saying he's going to win because I'll give that one later. But he will be in contention for it. I think Corey Davis is a sleeper for wide receiver because you don't draft a wide receiver that high unless you plan on throwing him the ball, and it'll be the deep threat that Mariota really needs. I think the running back tandem of Murray and Henry is going to just play old school football. And I think the defense is going to play solid enough that they are going to they're going to make a lot of noise in that division. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I know I'm going to hear a lot of feedback for who I got in second. I'm taking Jacksonville at an 8-8. And here is why. I think Leonard Fournette is going to be your rookie of the year, and I think they're going to run him until he can't run anymore. And I think that even with their quarterback struggles, they've drafted well enough on defense that is going to be like the Baltimore Ravens of a few years ago. Not as dominant, but they're going to win some games because that defense is going to play lights out. Or dare let me say a comparison to when Tim Tebow was the quarterback in Denver and their defense played lights out. That's going to be the kind of same thing. But I think that Jacksonville is going to just play old school football. I think the quarterback situation, heck, I wouldn't doubt them getting rid of both quarterbacks on their roster and going to get somebody that is not in the league right now to come in and step in. I'll even go on a limb and say if Colin Kaepernick is going to play this season, he might be playing in Jacksonville because that quarterback situation is kind of messy. But that being said, I think the defense is going to step in, and I think they're going to go make some plays with that. Houston, I think, is having enough QB inconsistency issues that I think they'll be right behind Jacksonville. You could flip a coin either way for those because I think they both have great defenses. Their quarterback situation is going to be, probably what is going to separate them. I mean, I think Deshaun Watson is going to be the answer for Houston, but I don't think he's ready just yet. As much as Houston has talent on the one side of the ball, is Lamar Miller going to be able to carry him through to win some games? Debatable. I don't think at this point, yes. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with on my gut about that. I think Jacksonville is going to edge Houston out, and I think the Colts are just, Andrew Luck not being there is basically a great team to a decent team. And Frank Gore is, playing, he's fighting father time right now for how long he can keep running at this pace.
Yep.
So I think the Colts are going to finish last, and I really like the Titans to make some noise and advance. So that's my gut instinct about the AFC South. Let me know what you think on social media. Hit us up #ODPH. AFC West, we got a little moving and shaking with the Chargers leaving sunny San Diego for the bright lights of Los Angeles. The Chiefs, making a lot of moves in the draft. The Denver Broncos bringing Brock Osweiler back home. And your Oakland, soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders. JR, what you think?
Okay. So, you know what? Last year, I took Derek Carr, not as my starter. I actually picked him up week 5 because I had some quarterback issues. I'll let you all laugh. My starting quarterback, because the rules were you had to take somebody from your team, Sam Bradford. So that's why I rode the first 5 weeks of my fantasy team last year until I realized, of course, that's not going to get me anywhere. I find Derek Carr. Pick him up. I love Oakland. I am big on Oakland. I was, last year, they were great until he broke his leg. They were Super Bowl bound until they broke his leg. He's back. Beast mode. Cooper and Crabtree are just freaks. I love Cooper. He just needs to learn to catch more than he's dropping, but I am big on Oakland. I'm like Super Bowl bound on Oakland. They are awesome. Whether they're in Vegas, whether they're in Cali, whether they're in Canada. Oakland, baby.
The greatness of the Raiders.
The Raiders. That black hole, man. They are going to riot in Oakland. They will burn that building down before they move to Las Vegas because they're just I'm big on them. Their defense, Khalil Mack. Oh my God. He's probably going to break Strahan's record. He's just tearing it up out there. Derek Carr, as you have already mentioned, I'm thinking Carr is going to be MVP. 5,000 season. He's going to have it. That team is just so in your face, nasty. I'm thinking 13-3 for sure. My boy, Murda, I know you don't want to hear this. I'm not a fan of Denver. Bringing Osweiler back. You still have Simeon. You still have Lynch. You're not high on any of them because you brought Osweiler back, so that's kind of a scary thought in my book. C.J. Anderson's not the answer. I don't think, anyway. I've never liked Alex Smith. I never liked him as a Niner. I don't like him as a Chief, regardless of Andy Reid. I think he's making chicken salad. But I'm going Oakland. I'm going Oakland as my winner by a mile. I'm going to go KC by default. Chargers I have no faith in because last I checked, no matter where they are, they're still the Chargers. So chalk that one up as a wash.
Nostradogmus.
I think the division. I think it'll be closer than you think. I think it's the best division in football, actually.
Whoa.
What?
Okay.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Break it down for us.
I want to hear it. Come on.
It's just you got a lot of the top three are you got Oakland, Denver, and Kansas City. I think there's a little bit of separation between the three of them, but I still think, I don't know, maybe this is being me as a homer from the Seattle being in the AFC West way back when, but I think Chargers will probably come in, I'd say, last in the division. The move up there, Rivers is not getting any younger. Gordon is going to be probably going to have another breakout year this year, and they do have one hell of a defensive line with Bosa, and they have a good defense. I would say Kansas City. I would say Kansas City 3, Denver 2, Oakland 1. I think Oakland could have made a run there if Carr hadn't broken his leg last year. So you don't know what could have happened with there. Beast mode's back.
How does that make you feel?
As a Seattle Seahawk fan.
Are you just here so you don't get fined?
Something like that, yeah. No, I mean...
It's got to hurt you a little.
Yeah, it does. But he took a year off, and I knew all along that he would probably end up in Oakland eventually. Just going back to the hometown team. Don't know really how many years he's got left still, but I think he's going to be rejuvenated. That defense is a killer with Mack and all that. Denver's quarterback situation is a little unsettled. Bringing Osweiler back, but I think the AFC West games are always so competitive between the three of them. Well, between all of them, and I believe it's the best division.
It's a very good argument. And you know what? I have to agree with Dog on, I think that every game is very competitive. It's going to be, no pun intended, Dog, a dogfight. I do like Oakland to win that division. I'm thinking somewhere around the 10-6 range. If Carr is healthy, the team is healthy, and you have a motivated Marshawn Lynch who is kind of doing the LeBron thing, coming back home to win his team a championship, before, they leave, because I forget how soon they're going to Las Vegas. Is it next year or
2020.
2020. All right, so they're going to be in Oakland for a while. The time is now to win if you're going to win. And I think he wants to see Oakland get a championship, and then he would, ride off into the sunset. Marshawn is going to come back. He will be in beast mode. The team is going to definitely be making some noise, and I do like him to make a run in the playoffs.
I do have a question for you. So you've got Oakland at 10-6,
roughly somewhere around there, yeah.
So that's losing 2 games by adding beast mode to last year. They were 12-4.
Right.
You think they lose 2 more games this year?
I think so. Because I think last year they snuck up on people. I think that, Derek Carr came out of nowhere pretty much and really got the jump on some people. And plus, I think it's tough to repeat at the professional level to, keep averaging the same success that they do year in and year out. I like them to go about 10-6 because I think that, some teams will sneak up on them a little bit. And plus, I think that as we were talking about in the AFC East, no matter how bad a team is, they're going to show, some pride and try, at least taking their opponents in division down a notch. So I could see maybe a Denver sneaking a win out. I could see the Chargers sneaking a win out because when you have that much talent, and they do, on one side of the ball or the other, I think that unless Oakland makes enough adjustments to deal with it, I think I could see them losing 2 more games. I mean, they're going to be around the 10-6 range. I mean, I'm just giving a rough ballpark of what I think the record's going to be. That being said, I like the Chargers in second. I think that they're going to be around there because I think Phillip Rivers is going to be motivated because I know he is. I don't think he's too, I don't want to say that. Let me reword this. I think he's going to be motivated to do it for the fans he left. And I think he's going to be fired up to give San Diego something that, they supported him so long that he wants to give those longtime Charger fans something to remember. I think that Melvin Gordon is going to be, playing out of his mind. I think that the offense is clicking, and I think Hunter Henry is going to take over the tight end reins from Antonio Gates, and he's going to be a big star. And, I mean, Bosa in that defense is just going to get nastier and nastier. So I could see them going back and forth. And plus, I think Phillip Rivers versus Derek Carr is going to be the new Phillip Rivers versus Jay Cutler. I think that they're just going to bring out the best in each other when they play, bar none, because I think both of them kind of almost mirror each other. Maybe just, one position's a little better than the other on the respective team, but I think that there's a lot of similarities between both. That being said, I think the Chiefs are going to be somewhere around 8-8 in third. I think that Alex Smith is, he knows that they have, the first-round draft pick there breathing down his neck. Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes, yes.
Thank you. I think that he knows he's the heir apparent. And when your job is on the line, you're going to press yourself even more to try winning. I think that might cost him a game or two. And I think that, they'll be right around the 8-8 range. I think the Broncos are going to be in last because even though their defense is probably arguably the best in the league, even though they just cut TJ Ward, I think that the quarterback position is you're bringing back Brock Osweiler, who left, and either he's going to pick up where he left off in Denver, or I really don't know what you can expect, because if you just signed him to take over as your starting quarterback, you have Trevor Siemian, you have Paxton Lynch. Sorry. You have a lot of uncertainty at that position. Like you said, C.J. Anderson, I don't think is the answer at running back. And I think your wide receivers, are only going to be as good as your quarterback. I mean, that's how it is on every team. So, but that division, I think, is a little more stacked top to bottom than, per se, your AFC South, where I was saying Jacksonville's defense is going to carry them. So I could see them coming in last. I really don't have a good record to predict. I don't think they're going to do it. But I like the Raiders to come out of eventually overall, but don't be sleeping on the Chargers.
For me, with Oakland anyway, the turning point for me is Week 10. Week 10 is the huge matchup with Oakland. In Oakland, Tom Brady's coming to town.
Oh, that'd be a benchmark.
That's your matchup right there, because that's your AFC championship game from last year, which should have been. And now both teams, if they're at full strength, to me, that's your AFC title game.
Actually, that game is in Mexico City again this year.
Raiders-Patriots are going to be in Mexico City?
Yes.
Interesting. So it's almost on a neutral. Well, it's kind of is like a Super Bowl game because it won't be at either team's home court.
I'm still thinking AFC title game.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a very valid argument. What do you think, folks? Hit us up on the social media, #ODPH. But before we go to break, we want to give a shout-out to Fair City Fire. Last week, when we were preempted for our show, they released their new single, No Promises. It is straight fire. You need to download it. The new album, I've heard, is coming 2018. We're hearing maybe April, maybe sooner if we're lucky. But This is the second single off it. It's called No Promises. You are listening to the ODPH.
Instead of making promises in the dark, why don't we just play our part? 'Cause I'm all alone and you're all alone tonight. Act like lovers, but we're not even friends. You can see the end, but it feels good to pretend. What does it matter anyway? We can live this night out alone, together in a way. Well, tonight we're gonna let it all go. Just for tonight we're gonna let it all go.
Back for the second half of the extended version of the ODPH NFL preview. So right now we're going to talk a little NFC football. So taking a look at the divisions, we're going to be talking NFC.
Ken,
What?
there's only one division and one team in the NFC.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, God.
And we're talking about the NFC West and the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Woo!
Break it down for us. We could talk NFC West. We're going to jump the gun a little bit. So we're talking Seahawks, we're talking Zona, we're talking Frisco, and we're talking the LA Rams. Break it down for us, dog.
I want to know who you got as your winner. I'm just curious. I can take a shot in the dark.
Is that even a question? I think, well, it is a two-division race. I would give you that.
Two-team division race.
Yeah.
Dog is animated right now.
passion.
Like, if there was YouTube right now, trust me, this would be epic gold because he is, like, pumping his fist and, like, going bananas right now. So,
But I gotta stick with my Seattle Seahawks. They're just of all the, I know they go through a lot of off-season stuff and all that, but I think they're just so, they're very united as a team. They have a good head coach. They'd have Russell Wilson. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They have a rejuvenated running back core, hopefully, with Eddie Lacy, picking up Eddie Lacy from Green Bay. He's down to about 250, so hopefully he stays in shape all season.
That's some prime running weight right there.
Yeah, that's a very good point to bring up, too.
They got Thomas Rawls. He's a little injury prone. But they got Chris Carson. I think he's going to be a breakout. Not, I would say a deep sleeper, fantasy-wise, maybe.
Okay.
He's shown
What position you play?
running back.
Running back? Okay, Chris
So
Carson? Okay.
Yeah, so it's
I'm making notes as we're
a
talking.
little bit of a log jam there, but I think there'll be enough balance, I think. Russell Wilson hopefully will be healthy this year. He went through 3 injuries last year and didn't miss a game.
Very good point. I forgot about that.
So, and that defense, LOB, baby. It just, they're,
Talk that talk, dog.
There it is. Lay it down. Mic drop.
You know, the one thing, too, if you don't know Dog as well as we do, and Dog will be appearing throughout the NFL football season, he is one of the most hardcore Seattle Seahawks fans. And we're editing out a lot of the bombs that he is dropping because he is getting that animated. So we're cleaning up the show because Dog is that serious because it's pretty much Seattle versus everybody. Would you?
in the NFC, yes, I do believe.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on any other team in that division or no?
Arizona, they always put up a good fight with us. I mean, they even tied last year in 6-6. That was a
How do you tie? You know, like that's one thing that blows my mind about American football.
6-6.
I told you.
Yeah.
Not even.
But it was 2 ties
touchdown.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And they both
I talked about this. It's
I know,
terrible.
but still, it's just still singing.
2 missed field goals at the end of overtime. I was going nuts. It was just like. But San Francisco, LA. I don't really think they matter in that division.
Get him, Dog.
You put them in their place.
Not really. Just, I mean, you don't know what they don't know what you're gonna get from them. It's like
No, I
No Fisher, no St. Louis, no problem. Doesn't matter.
I agree. Jay, if you want me to take this, I'll take this. If
Do it
not,
up. It's
okay.
hard to follow because I don't even know if I want to say who I've got.
Yeah. No. I
might
am,
just skip this one.
I'm with Eddie in Seattle taking the West. I think the Legion of Boom is going to be more fired up. I think Pete Carroll, they got a good thing going out there. Russell Wilson, I think, you know, you got to say is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I forgot how injury prone he was and still played through last year. And I think, you know, Doug Baldwin, underrated wide receiver out there. Jimmy Graham is still out there. And the carousel of running backs, Eddie Lacy, if he comes back motivated, is going to be a beast. And that defense will carry him far. Arizona will give him a good run, but you know, how much does Carson Palmer have left in the tank? I do love Arizona's defense. Honey Badger out there, Patrick Peterson, the whole squad out there is nasty. David Johnson, can he repeat as well as he did last year? Debatable. I think that he's going to be up there, but I think to do a run as well as he did last year is going to be hard to top.
Oh yeah, because he's been going number 1, number 2 in every fantasy league that I've done.
As he should.
Right.
Yeah. But that's last year he had a remarkable season. And, you know, just really put Arizona on the map. I know that, you know, Larry Fitzgerald is the face of the franchise, but David Johnson's definitely got to be like the next coming of, because Fitz has only got a couple more seasons left, I believe. And then, we'll see what happens out there. But it all rides on Carson Palmer, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's as long as he can stay on his game, because as Dog knows, I mean, you saw some really ugly moments out of Arizona last year, but then you saw some highlight reels. More highlight reels than none, but still, you never know.
And if that squad can stay injury-free as much as possible, because, injuries happen on every team. You can't just stuck those. They're going to hang with Seattle. It's not to say that they couldn't take the division. It's going to be it's basically those two and then everybody else.
Right.
And Frisco, I love the moves that John Lynch did in the offseason as a GM, but they're not ready yet.
Look what they hustled out of the Bears.
Yeah, that
for
was
one spot in the draft.
Ridiculous.
Oh, man.
And he played it right, and
give it a couple years.
Yeah. It's always a process when you have a GM in place that, the first year the expectations are super high. And I think this now in the football season, especially with how the salary caps are, that, there is a very small wiggle room for, not making the playoffs every year. And, your team should be contending every season. So, I do love the drafts that, the positions they did. And I think that, they're going to be a couple seasons away from, really contending.
And you've got your Rams who are just...
The Rams,
question mark.
Jared Goff, I don't think is the guy. I truly struggle with that one. Even they have Sammy Watkins. Wide receiver is only as good as his quarterback, because if he can't get the ball, what's the point of him even, being out there?
Oh, you just salty because he's not in Buffalo.
No, actually I'm not. Not in the least. I was completely happy about the move. I was more mad about Robert Darby going to Philadelphia, but I get the move, and if you're not going to be able to salvage, contract talks for next season, comes time to move. Can't really fault that too much. But the Rams, I don't know. They have weapons. As I've read right now, Aaron Donald is still not in camp.
Mm-hmm.
And
still holding out.
When you're still holding out this late, the season starts in 5 days.
Tomorrow.
Well,
Actually,
tomorrow, but for that team.
Yeah.
So to clarify, that is going to be a lot of, uncertainty. And I don't know. I have a wait and see approach about them, but I just don't think LA is, anything to really worry about for contending or really too much right now. They have a decent defense if Donald shows up. If not, it's going to be some long games. That's my feeling on that.
Yeah.
So let's go to the NFC South. So we have Tampa Bay, we've got Carolina, we got the New Orleans Saints, and your Super Bowl runner-up, Atlanta Falcons.
Choke job.
Yeah, I hate saying it, but 28-3 is still haunting a lot of Falcon fans. I'm just trying to think of a nice way to put it. I don't understand, how that happened, but it does. So can Atlanta come back this season? Debatable. My picks. I'll just jump in first since I'm rambling off. I love Tampa Bay to win the division. I think that Jameis Winston has got enough talent around him. Don't sleep on O.J. Howard. He's going to be a tight end star. Their running back situation is kind of a little questionable because Doug Martin, I believe, is not in suspended for a few.
First 3 games.
Yeah, so that could be a little tough. But they have Mike Evans. They have Deshaun Jackson. They have some weapons. They're going to be scoring some points. They're going to be fun to watch. Carolina, I like coming in right behind them. I could see him taking the division, but it just depends on if Cam Newton can stay healthy all season. Can he have his, wide receiver core be healthy too? Kelvin Benjamin, if he can stay consistent. He has one of the top 5 tight ends in the league with Greg Olsen. The running back position, wait and see with, McCaffrey coming in as a rookie. You still got Jonathan Stewart. So you do have some weapons on that side of the ball. The defense will be make or break for you. So, but in that division, I think they can definitely win some games. The Saints, I think, are going to be in third. Even with Adrian Peterson, which I know is a very sensitive subject to JR.
Not at all.
Him being down there, I think, helps their running game, but losing Brandon Cooks, Willie Snead is suspended for first 4 games, I believe. That's a tough blow. And, I mean, Drew Brees can throw the ball to anybody, but, he's going up there in age. How much does he have left in the tank? And that defense, I mean, that doesn't scare anybody.
Nope. Like, historically bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way to put it. So, that being said, I think the Falcons are going to have a Super Bowl hangover, and I don't see them making the playoffs. I could see them, possibly flip-flopping with the Saints, but I just don't see them hitting the playoffs. I just think it's tough to come back. I think that they had a great season last year. Freeman was playing lights out at the running back position. He got a big contract this season. Is he going to be that motivated to go? It just depends on how much they can rebound, because I know they've been hearing on the entire offseason about the Super Bowl. Typically, if the Super Bowl hangover is still there, it's not going to happen. I think that I just don't see them doing the success that they had last season. I could be wrong. They have a brand new stadium, so hopefully they get up for that. And, they could put some wins up, but I just don't think they're going to come in there. Gentlemen, any other thoughts?
Okay. I completely disagree.
Okay.
I'm thinking Atlanta by a mile, because they're so fired up. I love their energy. You're called Matty Ice for a reason. Unless you play in the Super Bowl, then it's a whole different story. But nickname Matty Ice, ice in his veins regular season. You still have the freak Julio Jones. They're going to come back so fired up. They want redemption. They want the rematch. I don't think they're going to get a rematch, but they've definitely got the division. The Saints, my response, good for you. Peterson's going to do you no good. He's going to be out by week 2. He's trash. So is your team. So they're going to be last, bottom sellers. I've got Atlanta 1. I've got my Bucks. I've got the Bucks as 2 because I like the moves. I like where Winston's going. I like his progression. He's looking good. I have to agree there. They got that stud tight end in the draft, as you mentioned. And then McCaffrey, the question mark. Cam's still hurt with the shoulder. So, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get out of him production-wise. So that's why I'm still thinking they're going to finish 3rd. Who cares? Dead last. Probably less than 4 wins.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, because I have no faith in him. I mean, Drew Brees, yeah, good for you. He's thrown for 5,000 yards. I get it. You traded Brandon Cooks to the Patriots. I don't know why, because so sick of the Patriots, but whatever. So good for them. But now you've got nobody. You've done nothing to help your defense. You're gonna, unless you can put up 50 a game, which you can't with nobody on offense, because your defense can't stop anybody. As you will find out Monday night against the Vikings. Hoorah!
We were going to get to that when we talk about the NFC Central, aka the NFC North.
So
yeah.
I've got Atlanta by a mile. The question mark with McCaffrey, I mean, he's been looking like a stud, but again, the shoulder with Newton makes me have him from 3rd. And I like Tampa just because I think they're looking really good. They're progressing up. It's good.
Eddie?
I think the Lions still wins the division, just because they have enough talent on offense, and they have an up-and-coming defense. I don't think the Super Bowl hangover affects them as much. Tampa Bay, I would have Tampa Bay finishing 2nd. Jameis Winston, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans, up-and-comers. We're retooling their defense. The Panthers are question mark. You don't know how healthy Cam's going to be. They still have a good defense. And, well, the Saints just can't stop anybody. So, like you said, Drew Brees will have to put up like 50 points every fantasy game, just like he did for me last year. But
yeah, I was going to say he led you to a championship, but can he do it again? Folks, hit us up on that social media. Let us know what you think. We're going to take one quick break, and then we're going to finish out talking NFC East, NFC North, Super Bowl predictions. We're wrapping this show up. It's the ODPH.
Of convenience.
we're heading into the final segment of your ODPH NFL preview. So make sure to hit us up on the social media. Let us know what you think, thoughts, views, opinions expressed, the whole nine. Because we're so amped up to talk football with you, we want to know. So hashtag it with the ODPH. Hit us up on all our forms of social media. Closing out, we're going to be talking a little NFC North, and there's one man here that's got that division on lock. JR.
Yes. Finally.
Break it down.
Oh, man. I'm so amped up. I'm going to tell you. I love it, but I hate it. Because me being a Vikings fan, I laugh at the Lions, I laugh at the Bears, and I hate the Packers. I hate them. I hate them so much. Damn you, Aaron Rodgers. Oh. But you know what? Number one defense in NFL is who?
Minnesota Vikings.
Thank you. We do have Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
What did he do last year? NFL completion percentage record. Who holds it? Answer me the question. Who holds it? Say it. Say it.
Oh, excuse me.
It's not Russell Wilson, is it?
Ah, go get him, dog.
Not even. No. No. Sammy B, baby. Dalvin Cook coming in there looking like a stud. I'm waiting for Monday night. I'll be on my vacation. I'll be watching as he embarrasses Adrian Peterson with his return because he won't even play. Who cares? Hashtag it. Start it. Go for it. Skull Nation, baby. Be proud. My NFC North is simple. Vikings, I have no faith in their offense. I'm gonna be straight up. I look at the Vikings this year as regrettably not division winners, which I hate to say, because as much as I'd like to say their defense is just that damn good, where they could have Sam Bradford be the Trent Dilfer that was, you have to play Aaron Rodgers, and it doesn't work because Aaron Rodgers is too damn good, and I hate saying those words because it's like me having to admit Brett Favre was that good, and it just sucks. I hate it. I truly hate it. Like, I can't even express how much I hate it. It's really getting me amped up. But I think the Packers barely, and I'm talking by like one. I'm thinking 11-5, 10-6. Trubinsky, hey, preseason's all fun and games and it looks good, but you know, when you go up against A-Rod in Wisconsin in January, yeah, that's called big boy league right there.
Dare I say,
So-
it's sort of like when if Pad was here, he'd be making a Star Wars reference.
Yeah, it's just bad. Like, no, you can't. Stafford, hey, Lions, good for you. Way to pay him. Yeah. How many playoff wins does he have? Do you know? Anybody? No? Zero.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was zero.
Zero. And he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, so
Highest paid player in the league.
yeah. So good for you. Way to waste your money. I mean, he is the franchise. He's thrown for 5,000 yards a couple different times. But newsflash, you can only put so much lipstick on a pig, and it's still a pig. So that is the Detroit Lions. So I've got no faith there. Packers 11-5 again. We'll split with them. I hate talking about this. Like, I'm so amped up for football, but I hate the fact that Aaron Rodgers is still in the division because he's so freaking good. And I hate when you look at the team and it's Jordy Nelson, you've got Randall Cobb, you've got Ty Montgomery, who's a wide receiver turned running back, who freaking killed it last year for people's teams as a running back. If you had one, I did. Don't like to say that. Skull Nation's still proud. But, I mean, I think we're going to make the playoffs. We'll be a wild card team, but I think the Packers 11-5, Vikings at 10-6, and Bears trash. I mean, there's still nothing to impress in Chicago. Lions no better, so that's what I got.
Dog, what you got on that division?
Don't you go Savage.
I'm not talking about Seattle. So.
Hey,
He is very true
But we
about
are
this.
the Seattle bandwagon, or the Seattle 12s, are going to be on full. Well, maybe not. In full display in Green Bay on Sunday.
oh,
This is true.
That's a good opening game.
I'm gonna be a Seahawks fan, just so you know. Sunday.
Is that your pick of the week? Seattle over Green Bay at Green Bay?
Start off the season, kick Green Bay right in the face.
I don't know about a lock, but it'll be one hell of a game. I got Green Bay winning that division. It was close last year between Green Bay and Minnesota. I'm not all Lauren Carpenter-esque on the Bears, so they're starting Mike Glennon, so
Is that official? He is starting?
I think so.
Okay.
So, and then as Lauren calls them, the Detroit Kittens. So,
Shout out to Carp.
yeah, they'll finish last. I mean, you can't pay that guy that much and then have nothing around him. So Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions.
My pick on this, it's kind of like Brady in the AFC. I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, obviously, he makes a lot happen with, almost like a carousel of wide receivers. I know he's got Marcellus Bennett there this year, a tight end. That's a definite step up. The running game is kind of in question, but honestly, you can't knock or count out the best quarterback in the league right now. So I do have the Packers winning the division. I have Minnesota at second. I think that defense is going to carry them a lot farther than their offense is going to go because, and I said, Sam Bradford I don't think is the answer for him. Dalvin Cook, though, I think is going to be a star in the league in a couple of years. I think this year he might not, get as much shine because they still have, Latavius Murray as their split back?
Yeah, Latavius Murray is supposed to start, but Dalvin Cook is they still haven't announced who's going first.
Right. But they have a nice 1-2 punch, and I think that, Dalvin will get broke into the league, properly, and I think that he's going to be a big name in a year or so. I don't think right off the gate. Stefan Diggs, I mean, he can only go so far as Bradford can get him the ball. I'm not too much of a fan of Bradford's game. I think, though, they will be in contention. I could see him getting the wild card of the NFC. But I don't see too much happening after that. Honestly, after that, and you can flip a coin. The Lions, I will say this for Matt Stafford, though. He has always been a Detroit guy since he's gotten there. He's never asked to leave. They've rewarded him handsomely for it. And I guess you could say there's something about team loyalty because he is you never hear him complain about the organization. You never hear him, do anything pretty negative towards it. And he's worked well with every receiver he's had. In Golden Tate, Calvin Johnson, the list goes on and on. He's made something happen, and he is somebody that the other players rally around. I just don't think that they have the talent right now to really contend and really hang in there on both sides of the ball. And I know they lost a few people the past couple of years over free agency when they had a really stout defense. So, I mean, honestly, I just don't think you're going to see too much out of Detroit. And Chicago, they're rebuilding a lot. I know Trubisky, they went all in on, and they're waiting to see how the card is going to flop. So, you don't know. I mean, they do have a solid running game. After that, they're getting hit with injuries left and right. I just don't think the Bears have it in them this year. But it also depends on your quarterback situation. If you keep Glennon in there, I mean, you got the heir apparent waiting because you don't forfeit your draft to go move up a spot to the number 2 to go get the guy if you're going to have him holding the clipboard. I mean, it's not like the old days of the NFL where people waited and then were brought in. There's a lot of win now mentality. I think there's a lot more question marks on Trubisky right now that you'll have to wait and see. So that's my pick about that. Going into
my only thing, dog, I'm pulling for you, buddy, for Sunday. Listen, we need the Packers to lose. I'm riding the Seahawks bandwagon, but do you remember what happened last year, the last time when you went to Lambeau? Did you recall that from last year? No?
Probably not.
Okay. Russell Wilson had 5 picks in that game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they got blown out. It was bad.
But Dog supports his team, so he doesn't show any fear about that.
I'm just saying. This is the listen. You've got Chancellor laying the boom on A-Rod, I hope, and as long as Wilson maybe throws only 3 picks this time, that'd be great.
It's gonna be a good game.
Not 5.
It's one of the better marquee matches of this week. I will say
that's
that.
The 425 Fox game.
Yep. I will say that, though. Boom. But, you're going to see, as you can tell, JR is definitely amped up for his Vikings, and I know that you're a New Orleans
Monday
fan.
Night, 8 o'clock, Monday night. Skull Nation, baby.
Yeah. If you're a Saints fan right now, you're probably not too happy with JR right now.
You shouldn't be. Your team's trash.
See,
and you're going to get the beatdown you deserve in Minnesota.
hit him up on the social media,
Hit me.
hashtag ODPH, and let him know. And you guys can chit-chat over the Twitter, as the kids say.
Damn straight. Let me know.
Final division, NFC East. Probably the most noteworthy offseason one of the Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, and Redskins. JR, you want to start us off?
Yes. So, with having to, work and know a few people that particularly care for this division, I'm going to give the royal backhand to all of you and say Washington wins the division.
Whoa.
I am super high on Kirk Cousins because he's a stud. I absolutely love him, and I love the fact that they continue to pay him $30 million a year by franchise tagging him every year, which is awesome.
But this is the final year they can do that, though.
Right. He
So-
deserves. I think he deserves Matthew Stafford money. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's really good.
Vastly underrated.
Yeah. Like he's really good. I mean, I can say this again, but he's really good. And
Dog just said he's
You know-
no Russell Wilson, though.
he. I'm all in on the Redskins. I like them. I really do. I think their defense is pretty good. I mean, you can't go wrong with Jordan Reed, who's led the NFL with being tight end. I mean, he's really good. I'm all on him. Like I said, if anything else, I have faith in Kirk Cousins. I don't know if anybody else in Washington does. I know people in the division don't have any faith in him, but stats don't lie, man. He's up there as one of the better ones in my eyes as a quarterback. I look at the Cowboys. Elliott, he's back for at least one game, and I think it's like a week to week whether or not he actually gets suspended or not. So like they've upheld it, but they're still pursuing other problems. So he'll be there Sunday, but
If everything I've read, he's allowed to play week 1, and then the suspension starts week 2 through 7.
right. So I mean,
wait and see on that. How that story is unfolding.
I'm a fan of Alfred Morris, who's actually third on their roster behind McFadden and Zeke on that team. But it's the huge sophomore slump asterisk that haunts them. Like their offensive line in Dallas is number 1 by a mile, and I think probably we could even play behind that offensive line. It's that good.
Padawan, I think, is going to try getting on that team now, actually, if he gets cut from the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, because you could. So, I mean, the asterisk there is just too much for me with Prescott. I mean, I do have him in a couple fantasy leagues just because you never know. I mean, he could surprise us and stay good, but I'm really big on Washington. I think Dallas, close second. I think it's going to be really competitive like it was last year. Eagles, I like Carson Wentz. I really do. I think he's really good for Philadelphia. I think if Philly fans can actually like somebody, I think they actually like, quote unquote, Carson Wentz. He showed some really good bright spots last year. The Minnesota game they played last year didn't prove that, but I like the Eagles, so I'm going to say I've got Washington 1. I've got the Cowboys just a game behind. I've got Eagles. And last I checked, Eli Manning was still the quarterback of the Giants, so last.
Dog?
I think Dallas still wins the division this year. I think they take a little bit of a step back from 13-3 they were last year. I mean, the Giants beat them twice. The NFC East is always going to be a very competitive division. I think the Giants finished second. They have loaded up their defense in the last 2 off seasons. Don't know really how they still got Beckham. They added Marshall. Don't know what he's going to really bring to the table. He's getting there up in an age. Philly's on the rise. I think Carson Wentz is going to be a good quarterback in the future. But it's Philly, so it's like... and then Washington 4. I don't really think they have much other than Kirk Cousins. So I would just leave it at that.
Fair enough. Well, my picks for the NFC East, I'm going to go out on a limb. I am taking your New York Football Giants at 1. I think that they are going to be playing off their wide receiver core of Beckham Jr., Brandon Marshall, and possible Rookie of the Year candidate Evan Ingram at tight end. I think that they are going to, Eli is going to just be shooting the lights out. I don't want to say he's, his final year, but I think he's going to start, getting into the twilight. They've given him enough weapons around him that he should be able to put up some points. I think the defense is going to play very solid. I like them to win the East. I like Philly in second. I think Carson Wentz is only going to get better with Alshon Jeffrey as his wide receiver. Granted, it's going to take a while getting the timing down with Jordan Matthews getting traded to Buffalo. But I think that Philly's taking the moves in the right direction. I could see him definitely coming in second. I think Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are going to be in third. I think the sophomore slump asterisk is definitely going to be used here because when rookies come out or players come out of nowhere, it's one thing. They're surprising teams. But coordinators sit around and watch a lot of game film in the offseason, and they're going to be game planning for him. Now, not saying Prescott's not going to be successful, because I think he's going to be. But to the level that he was last year, I don't think he's going to reach it. The running back situation, obviously, is going to be a little bit messy right now to figure out. So until that's situated, the line is great, and they'll give Prescott enough time to throw. He still has his wide receiver core from last year. Is Des Bryant going to be healthy enough to really do some damage consistently throughout the year? We'll see. The defense, I don't know if they addressed enough in the offseason to really make a deep run late. Time will tell about that one. And then the Redskins, I think, are going to be in last. I mean, I love Kirk Cousins, but I think if he's already trying to get out and they're not letting him go, Jordan Reed, if he can stay healthy, but that's been the knock on him for a while. And the other positions out there, I don't see them really making a deep run if they get in, but I just don't see them making the playoffs. Thoughts on that? Hit us up on the social media, #ODPH. We're going to go into our football picks for Super Bowl. And any other picks we have, like Rookie of the Year, Head Coach of the Year, you'll see on our blogs. We'll be posting them later this week. So, JR, close us out. Your Super Bowl prediction.
Well, I'm always pulling for the Vikings. And I've seen a wild card team come and do it. However, unfortunately, it's not this year. I'm thinking, in my heart of hearts, as I've mentioned before, I've got Oakland Raiders coming out of the AFC.
Okay.
Because I think they're just unbelievable. I think beast mode, like I said, mentioned it before, Crabtree, Cooper, Khalil Mack, enough said. They should truck through the AFC. They'll get to the Patriots matchup. I think even if they had to go to Foxborough, I think they could still give Tom more than he bargained for. I've got that kind of faith in him. My NFC pick, though, it's really, I truly think that Oakland's that far ahead. But if I had to say, I would go with Green Bay.
So Oakland and Green Bay. And you taking Oakland to win?
Yeah. Just because, you know what? I think the bright lights with a healthy Derek Carr, that offense showed last year that they could just pummel anybody at any given time. Their defense is so on point. Man, I'm hoping for Raider Nation, but I'm concerned because then I feel like there'd be a huge riot on the West Coast for an entire year, but that's why we're on the East Coast. So I'm going Green Bay, Oakland as your winner.
Nostradamus Edwin Fortunato.
Wow.
Oh, baby.
I mean, I have an idea who you're going the NFC, but break it down for us, though, regardless.
I think Seattle is. I'm going to go with Seattle.
Okay.
From the NFC. I think they're the most complete team.
Just don't have Walsh make any serious kicks. You saw that.
Yeah. Wow. It won't be 10 to below 0 in Seattle. We hope not.
This is very true.
And AFC, I will go Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, Seattle and Pittsburgh. A little rematch from Jerome Bettis' last season in Detroit?
Yes.
And how you think that one's going to go down? Just to make it official.
Super Bowl champions, Seattle Seahawks.
Woo! I had a feeling. I just wasn't sure about the AFC pick.
We had to put it official. It had to be on the board.
As the dog drops the woo, you know it. You know it's locked in. Lead pipe.
That's a lead pipe lock.
All right. So my predictions.
With Buffalo out.
Yeah, Buffalo is not going to make it, unfortunately. Not this year. A couple years down the road, because you trade away for that many draft picks next season. You better be going all in for 2021. This year, coming out of the AFC, as much as it pains me, but I think, in my gut opinion, this will be the final run for Tom Brady and Coach of the Year, Bill Belichick. I think the Patriots have loaded up on too much on offense and defense this offseason. Brady's only competition right now is Father Time, and he's currently 40. Can he keep playing at this pace going on for a couple more years? It didn't work out so well for Peyton Manning. I don't see it doing too much for Tom Brady after this season. So I do think the Patriots are going to get there over the Tennessee Titans in your AFC Championship game. So you can lock that in. I'm going full deep on that one.
Wow.
And so I think the Patriots are going to win a close one there, but I think the Patriots go back there. In the NFC, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to make a good run, but I don't know, call it the Hollywood superstition, call it the whole team of destiny, call it what you will, but I see the New York Football Giants upsetting the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game, because I have this weird feeling that it's going to be Giants-Patriots one last time. And unfortunately, this time, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick pull it off. 24-21. And this is it. Belichick rides off into the sunset. Tom Brady, I think, is going to struggle a little bit this season, because I think last year being suspended for the 4 games actually helped him instead of hurt him. And fighting Father Time, you can't win that battle. It happens to every great athlete, no matter what conditioning you do, how great you are, it just happens. I see at some point this season the decline starting. Not saying he's going to immediately fall off, but I see it happening. But I think the Patriots are that loaded from their offseason moves that Brady gets his one last trophy, his possibly one last MVP, even though I still like Mariota to do it. I'm making a bold prediction with that one. And I think Brady and Belichick ride off into the sunset. They win, and then they're done. We want to know what you're thinking. Are we on point? Are you going absolutely not? What are you thinking? Folks, this is an interactive show. So when you post, when you tweet, when you hit us up, and we interact, that's what makes the show worthwhile. Because next week, JR is going to be on vacation. Facebook contributor Sean Duffy is going to be in the house. Now, Sean, if you have not been following on our social media, you should check out. He is very intelligent with his sports commentary. He's going to be on the show because he is interacting with us. That's how it gets done here on the ODPH. You're as big a part of the show as you want to be. But speaking of special guests, Nostradamus, Edwin Fortunato, thank you for joining us this week.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. We're going to need your lead pipe lock, and we're going to be posting that on the website this week. Going from there, something is beeping, and I'm not sure what. Oh, that's Dog. Dog has 2 phones, in case anybody is wondering. So he's checking the one, and the other one is ringing. That's how he gets down. But he is going to be on here. He's like our Adam Schefter, if you will, giving us football knowledge left and right. For JR, Sound Guy Galore, happy vacation next week. Any big plans you want to share with the audience, or nope?
Nope.
Just going to be watching some football.
Minnesota bound, baby.
He might be out there. For Padawan Jay, who we wish good luck in his New England Patriot tryout, and if he's not, hopefully he's back next week. If not, I am Ken M. I'll be here, and we'll see you next time on another ODPH.
Right or wrong, we lost ourselves. Too far gone to turn back now. Please don't try to understand why we break to keep this vow. We knew right where we'd be, floating on the airwaves, you see. It's a heartbreak, soul shake, radio attack, taking 4 steps forward and no steps back. People tend to look away when you're living shades of gray. The more I scrap from day to day, the more they tend to